I'm back at thewatcherfiles.com. I'm going to read several excerpts to you, all pertaining to the giants of the Solomon Islands. The entire uh, the entire piece is actually about the giants on the islands and supposed UFO bases. I am not worried about UFO bases or anything of the nature. What I want you to listen to is, once again, we're going to go back and we're going to talk one more time about this third DNA, though, that is not known. And I would just have to bold that it's the pure giant DNA, and it's the DNA that comes directly from the fallen ones, their genetic structure. Anyhow, so you have to realize that there are different seeds and bloodlines of the fallen. There's not just one. Satan is not these people's father, right on? Or Lucifer, or whoever you want to refer. But one of the devils are. Anyhow, I'm going to read this to you, and hopefully this makes sense. Apes and monkeys cannot breed with Homo sapiens. Where do I think giants came from? I believe that a surviving species of hominid that had branched off well before Neanderthal man and had developed throughout evolution. This is a guy talking about evolution. Notice though, monkeys still don't turn into humans, so his idea of evolution crushes on itself to be what they are today. The Guadalcanal people also believe that giants were there before they were. Of course they were. I know for a fact that their gene pool allows them to breed with us, as those that follow up my research will find out. Guadalcanal giants are definitely some of the surviving species of hominids once closely related to Homo sapiens. So these are the people that got mated with by the fallen ones, right on, who are considered Gentiles when they are later talked about in the Word. And these are the same people who were born without soul constitution. And these are the same people who would have had similar genetic structure, obviously, to any human due to the mass interbreeding of people who were without soul constitution and those with soul constitution. Carrying on. Apart from all the huge, tall, half-caste giant women that can be found living at the northeast Guadalcanal, there are half-caste and quarter-huge men who have eight caste children to Guadalcanal women. So you have to understand, when it says these numbers, that's how much giant they are, or what he thinks. So a half-caste is a half giant, right on? And the eight caste is somebody who's a part, right on, who's a half of a quarter, which is still living at, who have eight caste children to Guadalcanal women, who are still living at the Tengare of the weather coast of southwest Guadalcanal. Man, these names are out of control here. Anyone can go and see these huge interspecies bred people. Even though Silver died in the early 1990s, Jenny, his son, and his children, some who have bred themselves, are still alive. The huge quarter-caste giant Jenny is renowned by the people in his area for being a selfishly eat a whole pig by himself, bones and all. And that includes crocodiles too. A few funny stories about this extraordinary man are included within a book soon to be released and made available at the end of this website. I just want y'all to hear. Did you hear that? This dude ate a whole pig. He'll smash a whole pig to himself. It's crazy. So, read one more thing to you from this little spot and see what we can't come up with. This was this is going to go into the giants and the whole Guadalcanal thing, as I was talking about before. So, one moment. Like Homo sapiens and other hominids, the Solomon giants are both carnivorous and herbivorous. So they're omnivores. I don't know why he couldn't say that. As most Guadalcanal and some Solomon Islanders would bear testament, these whatever type of hominid people, until in recent history, considered human beings of Guadalcanal and the Solomons to be a reliable source of food, somewhat similar to as another meat to be eaten if required. Over the millennia, many thousands of Guadalcanal and Solomon Islander people lost their lives by being cannibalized by these giants. Hence, the reason being a major part of their history and grassroots cultures. During my limited research about the existence of the Solomon giants, I found that the giants had recently considered the Solomon people like pigs to be eaten. The primitive type of Neanderthal thinking tragically led to coastal children being pinned up into cages and rose to be eaten when they were bigger. Now, I want you to understand something that he considered the islander people more Neanderthalish, right on? So they're Gentiles, right on? They're not normal, regular people. I want you to understand that. You really have to, you gotta appreciate what I'm saying. Despite what they look like now, they're not regular people. And I'm not talking about you if you are an islander. I got a bunch of friends that are islanders that I love. But I understand this concept that underneath their genetic makeup and my genetic makeup, totally different people. Some of the people you look at every day might lack soul constitution. I know that's hard for some of you to understand, so let me say it to you like this. You are powered by electrons. Some people have in their body the most basic form of electrons to power their body. Right on? Positive, negative. If you believe in anything outside of yourself, then there are forces within and outside of your electrons that keep things in control and balanced. The reason for the soul constitution is to keep the body from, it's like a governor. The governor won't allow the body to do certain things. You understand? These people's bodies are able to be mutated because they don't have the governor. Anyhow, moving forward. Um, there was one giant who was famously known to the Guadalcanal people for being responsible for taking them off the menu. Luti Mccold, who was still the chief of the giants. Okay, he's known to be still the chief of the giants. I want you to understand something. A, a true giant does not have the same spiritual constitution that you have. They have the spiritual constitution of a fallen angel. I know that's hard to believe or hard to conceive. If you want to call them aliens to make yourself more comfortable with that subject, then please come to the terms and grips of that. But you need to also understand that these things are benevolent in nature. They are hateful, spiteful, and they are very cunning. And they manipulate everything to be in their favor. So once again, these big giant things, this guy, Luti Mccold, I want you to listen to how long he's been alive and why I believe that it might not be the same physical form, but it's the same actual energy. Going back to the governor that I was speaking about, they don't have the same type of governor. One moment. Luti Mccold changed the murderous behavior of the giants towards the Guadalcanal people forever in the giant wars of the in the early 20th century. They fought against clans that opposed these changes. When you find out the history, how he changed the rest of the giants' attitudes of cannibalizing the Guadalcanal people about a century ago, you will be blown away. It is absolutely amazing. And through my research, I have proven it to be true. Although I did not do everything about the Solomon giants, I believe the giants' cannibalism towards the coastal people of the larger islands halted for three reasons. And I'll just mention them: the Guadalcanal giant war, their association with extraterrestrials inhabiting the Guadalcanal and other islands, and the advent of being discovered by modern white man starting to occupy the Solomon Islands. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Not that the white man is so mighty that he is to be feared or anything like that, but the conclusion that I have come to, that many of you should come to, once again, and accept, I cannot change who I am. You cannot change who you are. The forces that be, whatever they were, that chose to do what they did and disrupt the natural way of life, they are wrong. So, sir, with skin of opaqueness and eyes that look like they're cyan and hair that is even more oddly colored, you understand? I'm not mad at you, nor do I fault you for looking that way. But you shouldn't fault me for looking this way either, because I have light brown skin and hazel eyes and hair that looks rough, but when you touch it, it's soft. You understand? We are living on this planet right now. If you looked at it from a biblical point of view, you would understand that the Bible gives you scientific, whether it be biology, whether it be chemistry, be it all facets of science, they're touched on in the Word. You have to be able to discern what you're reading to understand what it's saying to you. If you read it correctly, the planet was like a hyperbolic chamber, and people were naturally larger when life first started and began in the first place. So giants 7, 8,000, 9,000 years ago were much larger than the giants that you see now. You understand that? Okay, moving forward once again. This is just stuff to think about. This is one man who, he did the research, he's married to an islander woman. No, I'm going to leave it alone. I think this will be my little piece on this, and I just want it to be fair. I want to be fair, you know. So to be fair, let me find my page of work that has the Native American giants on it, just real quick. These are my notes, so excuse all the noise and the rumbling. Let's just start with Chenu, or Wintuku, an ice giant, that are evil and man-eating, believe that they were once humans, but transgressed social mores, cannibalism, withholding food from a starving person, other cases, possession of an evil spirit. Rarely is one rescued from the condition. Usually death is the only release. Related to Wendigo and others. One moment, let me keep going. Kandaja, man-eating monster of the Caddo folklore. Kandaja is usually described as a hideous horned ogre, but other cases, a horned serpent like the Cherokee Octina, enemy and predator of mankind. Jiwa Kaveska. Some stone giants were believed to have come from primordial man-eating monsters. One moment, listen to me again. From primordial. Do you know what primordial means, people? Primordial is ancient. You understand that? That's the most basic thing of it. Ancient. So these are ancient beings. So ancient to the Native American man. I need you to get outside yourself for a moment. They were possessed by a spirit when they were the primordial people and a regular man. But it couldn't have just been a regular man, you understand me? It had to be somebody who was eating people already. So understand that the people that you know of to have gorged on flesh at any time in their life, they have done so with probably knowledge of what this can lead to. This is what I'm reading. People transform by eating flesh, apparently. So, as I read this next one to you, and I'm not going to read any more, I just need you to understand that I'm not reading from Solomon Island history. I'm reading from Native American history. You know, I would never down the Native American people. I'm part Native myself, or almost part, something like that. But obviously, to everybody else in the whole world, I'm a black man. Though I be a little mixed. Stoneclad, a monster from Cherokee folklore. Tellings vary. His other name is N- New. What the heck is that? Nuyunwi. Nuyunwi. Man, these names is called Nuyunwi. That's his other name. A monster from Cherokee folklore. Some say that there are only one. Others say entire race. Okay. Menstruating women. Okay. This is what they did. They terrorized menstruating women, and talisman are the weakness to the stone giants. So menstruating women and talisman are the weakness to the stone giants. Holy shit. A chick on her period, right on, and talismans. Excuse me, I had to read my notes to really catch what I was saying. Self-turned or born that way. This is, so once again, I want you to get the narrative of what I'm getting at. It's that even though this guy tried to explain where the giants come from, is their root source is not from the planet. You understand? A person with normal soul constitution, if you listen to what I'm saying, if you read the Bible and then read the small excerpt about Nimrod, you'll understand what I'm getting at. I'm not saying that Nimrod ate people, but it's believable that Nimrod did things that were abominable and mannerisms to become a giant. Right on? It's also very believable that these same people who you believe have a soul don't have one at all. You need to really accept that. I know that's a hell of a pill to swallow. So what I'm saying is that there is no indefinite look of the devil or devils on this planet. This is going to be a good one. I think you guys will like it. I didn't want to talk so much, but I have to imbue what I believe into this. I can't just let you listen to what I'm saying and then there not be some part of how I feel. One more thing. The 5 killer giants. Where the village idiot managed to kill them, exacting revenge on behalf of his people, and in return gaining the hand of Paramount Chief's daughter and a few other things. So, you need to understand something. There has been so many misleading time frames of the planet and how long it's been here and this, that, and the other. I would like to boast to you. I don't think the planet we're living on, the time frame we're living in, I mean, you would have to plus or minus so many years. And the plus or minus comes from when God first created man. How long did man have to, from his creation, how long from that time, from his inception, did he live and actually enjoy the planet until the Watchers or aliens and UFOs came to the planet and decided to do what they did and change the nature of man? So when you look at it like that, that means that the planet was ever only however so much old. From Ugaritic history, which are Shemitic people, to a Babylonian history, which are Shemitic people. If you look into their histories, they all attest to the Great Flood. Pretty much every history and culture, every culture and history has a flood story. And they really only date back about 7, 8,000 years, 9,000 years, whatever, 12,000 years. You get what I'm getting at? The planet that you're living on is probably not really much more 10,000 years old, going on 11,000, something like that. So when a guy says that they've been being cannibalized, to his knowledge, for at least the past 5,000 years, right on, they've been being cannibalized since the beginning. It started. It's the same way it started is going to end for those people. That's just how it is. Till the people that aren't supposed to be there are called from those lands, and then we shall see. But in the meantime, in between time, you have a great day, and it's been nice talking to you. Thank you very much.